Did you know that sometimes dealing with a narcissist can lead to physical illness?
There was a time I saw a woman that she was saying that she had some disease because of her ex husband. I couldn't find the video anymore. But she said she had a disease because of her ex husband, that she developed a disease. But immediately after she left that marriage, because she went to the hospital and she was treating the illness, nothing was working. Immediately she left the marriage when she divorced her man due to something else, not even because of the disease, or due to probably was being a narcissist. I don't know. She kind of explained what happened. She noticed that she was no longer sick anymore. Today, I found out that autoimmune disease is usually caused mostly in women, and because of stress. And when you keep in so much stress and anger inside of you, you're not expressing your emotions so much, you're kind of holding it in. When you're trying to take everything in, because society does not expect women to showcase or show their anger. Well, as a woman, they will tell you, be patient, be calm, you're a woman, you have to take things slow, you have to endure, you have to, so women are born to just be taking in so many stress, not just their own stress, their partner's stress, their children's stress, their family, like people around them. They just want to start dwelling in those pain and all of that, and they take it in. They don't want to express it out. Do you know that this can cause autoimmune disease in your body? Do you know? Yes, let me show you these videos, then we'll come back and talk about it.
Did you know that sometimes dealing with a narcissist can lead to physical illness? I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2015 while in a relationship with my narcissistic ex husband. One day, I woke up and felt like I was having a stroke. So I drove myself to the hospital, all while the whole right side of my body was completely numb. My ex husband did come to the hospital to see me while they were running their initial test, and I will never forget what he told me. He told me to tell the doctors that I could not stay overnight because I had to go to work in the morning, so my paycheck was not short, so I can pay my portion of the bills. I ended up staying in the hospital for over 3 weeks. I lost my vision. Everything was blurry. I saw two of everything. I had incontinence. I literally could not hold my bladder. I slurred my words. I could not make out a full sentence, and I still struggle with that to this day. And that stroke I thought I was having turned out to be an MS hug. After many, many MRIs, blood work, and even a spinal tap, they diagnosed me with multiple sclerosis. Not only was I stressed out and depressed in this abusive relationship, I also developed unhealthy eating habits and drinking habits, and they diagnosed me as obese. I ended up getting on medication for MS. It was literally a shot that I had to inject in my belly and my butt. And over the years, I had many relapses with my MS in which my ex husband showed me absolutely no empathy or care. One time we were in Walmart and I was having trouble walking. I used to have really bad muscle spasms, and I remember trying to grab his arm to lean onto him, and he literally let me fall in front of everybody. Never forget, he had that narcissistic smirk, that big, stupid ass grin on his face while I was on the floor, and he just walked away. Anyway, the last time I had a multiple sclerosis relapse was the day I packed all my things in my car and drove across the country to get away from that man. It took me 2 days to drive across the country with my two kids. They were 5 years old and 3 years old. The whole time I was driving, I was having an active multiple sclerosis relapse with muscle spasms and blurred vision. By the grace of God, we made it. And right hand on the Bible, I have not had to take any medication, and I have not had a relapse since I left that man December 2022. I can see, I can walk, I've been in the gym, I haven't had no muscle spasms. I haven't had incontinence. I have had no symptoms since I left him. I'm not a doctor and I'm not giving medical advice. Multiple sclerosis is also an incurable disease, so right now I'm in remission, but I don't know what the future holds. Prolonged exposure to stress can lead to mental and physical health problems. Please, it is not worth it. You do not want to catch an incurable disease, and I thank God I ain't catch no sexually transmitted disease because that's another story for another reel, okay? But yes, y'all just protect your peace.
So I recently learned that women are most likely to develop autoimmune disorders, and not just any women, but women who suppress their anger and silence their voices. There was a study done by a therapist in the 80s who noticed the correlation between their female clients who had depressive symptoms and autoimmune disorders and those who silenced their voices and suppressed their anger. Now, women are socialized from a young age to be pleasant in society, and being pleasant meant not releasing anger. Keeping that anger in the system is causing the system to develop a disorder where the body attacks itself, autoimmune. Being pleasant is making us sick. My name is Ani, and I'm a somatic and vocal release practitioner, and I guide trauma survivors to find their voice again, to reconnect with and channel their anger and get it out of their system. Link in bio if you want to work with me.
The first lady said that she kept having relapse on her MS until she left a man and it didn't come again. The thing is, most of the time, person that is causing you stress, can be your partner. So staying and enduring, you really don't know, because this is not actually the first video of me seeing women coming out to talk about how them having disease and sickness and illness that is not going away. They don't even know how it came. They don't know what to do about it until they left their partner. Voila, it's gone, right? They don't even know how that happens. This is not the very first video. I think I've seen like 2 or 3 women talk about it, but I can never forget the very first one that I saw, and I can't find the video anymore. She said when she divorced her partner, she was no longer sick. She was no longer feeling all the old headaches. There's one that says she was always having headaches back to back. Like there's nothing she doesn't use for her headache. She went to the clinic and all of that until she was no longer in the relationship with that man, and our headaches are gone. Sometimes we women, we are in a relationship and we put in our all in that relationship. We forget ourselves, right? When you put in your all, you take in so many bad energy, because sometimes this men can suck out your energy, right? And you don't even know. So you kind of take in a lot of bad energy and you dwell in that, negativity that is going on. That can make you sick. And if you think about how this autoimmune disease comes about, you will see that it's from the things you take in: emotion, the stress, anxiety, so many things. Those are the things that sometimes causes autoimmune inflammation and all of that in the system. The fact that this disease is common, mostly in women, says it all. Like, says it all. You guys, a short clip I decided to share with you today. What is your take? Let me know your thought down in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.